Welcome back to another disappointing popcorn. Here today to review Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, thrown out there by Netflix in the big 2025, featuring Jacob Elordi, Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Christoph Waltz, a modern adaptation, or not modern, I guess modern is the wrong word, a new adaptation that is actually much more accurate to the novel, which is pretty cool. Guillermo's a huge fan. He finally got to make it. It's been his dream for years. Sean, let's talk about Frankenstein. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, dude.
Give your
It
take.
was really cool.
Yeah.
I really dug it. I went I drove like 45 minutes to this theater. I hadn't been to the theater yet. It was doing it. I think it was God, the picture show, I think it was called. A really cool, like old
Oh, dude,
school
yeah, you
sort
saw
of
it in
theater.
theaters.
And
Yeah.
it was very it was a cool experience to go to a theater that wasn't like an AMC or like a chain.
Yeah.
And it just like and it had like the old school like 80s tiles, and there was like a bunch
Oh,
of teenagers hanging out and like
hell
talking
yeah.
about the movie they just watched. Like it was a really good vibe. And I went in there, I watched Frankenstein, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good movie. You can even without knowing, you could tell, yeah, this is a passion project. This is somebody that like just cares so deeply about the character and the story. And also, though, I felt like he definitely was like, no, but I want to put my own thing on it, my own spin on it. I don't want to just give you the same old story that you've seen 1,000 times. Like,
Right. He
no, I'm
wanted to
going to
make it
try to.
feel like it was a Guillermo del Toro movie.
That's exactly what I was going. Exactly, it felt like he Guillermo del Toro did it in the best way. Like it was like, no, I'm doing it my style, and you can tell. I mean, even from the cinematography, right? I think Dan Lauston did this one, and he also shot Shape of Water.
Mhm.
You could easily tell. Like I mean, there are so many angles where that just
Feels
feels
like
Shape
you're
of
watching
Water.
Shape of Water too.
It does.
In like,
But
I mean,
right,
in terms of visuals.
right. And I will say though, like, and that's not even necessarily a negative. It's a lot of like wide angle,
Yeah.
like zoom stuff. And like honestly, I felt like with there were times in this movie where I was like, I didn't necessarily love the shot, but I was never like,
Yeah.
oh, the cinematography is not working for me. You know what I mean? Like it was never necessarily like that. And there are also moments though that I think the cinematography really
Some
shine.
truly special shots. I was gonna say
Seriously, like paintings almost, like just
my
gore. And
yeah. I was gonna say just my favorite shot in the film has got to be at when Victor and the creature are on the ice. Right after, like, first of all, when the creature holds the dynamite, and it does the close up where it looks like him holding the candle, and then after that, it's like the wide shot of the monster in the distance. Actually, that might have come before it. I might be chronologically mixing it up here.
I remember the shot though. I remember the
But
shot.
yeah, he's like just on the horizon. It's just like the creature's silhouette on
Yes,
the
yes,
horizon. I
yes,
was like,
yes.
yo, this might be
Very cool.
my favorite shots of the whole year. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, dude. And of course, like the production design and all the sets, like everything adds to the image, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll talk about that too. Production design is
I was gonna say,
absurd,
I think
but
that's kind of like the main thing we got to talk about.
crazy good. I mean,
Awesome.
just so much detail and so, fuck it, let's go into it. Just
Yeah.
so much like again, care taken into making sure it felt like a real damn place.
Yeah.
And I mean, even Frankenstein's lair and like the whole, I mean, it just was so like,
Dude, everything, the cottage out in the woods,
yeah.
uh, I would the castle. I don't even know if it's a castle, but like the
Anyway, yeah,
mansion that the
right,
creature
right,
goes to, where the wedding is. Like even
yeah,
that is beautiful.
yeah,
The shot
yeah,
when he's carrying Elizabeth down the stairs, it literally looks
yeah,
like a Victorian painting. Like
right,
it's
right,
so good.
yeah.
And to know that like all of that, like again, like you mentioned, the laboratory, Victor's room in the laboratory, the boat. I mean, they built the
The
whole
boat,
boat.
practical, yep, practical,
Right.
crazy,
And you know what?
crazy.
There are times where you're like looking at it and you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that this is a set. Like your brain can kind of recognize.
Mm, yeah,
I'd rather that than be like, oh, this is CGI set. I'd
yeah,
rather be like,
yeah,
that's a set that tons of people put hard work into
yeah,
to make a living, breathing part of the film than two people standing in a green screen circle. And
exactly.
there's like barely any actual set pieces. So set was awesome. I think between that and I know before we recorded, we talked about the costume design, which was
Yeah.
incredible too. Like Elizabeth's dresses were awesome. The creature's progression and like what he looks like by the end of the film was awesome. The
Yeah.
creature's makeup, awesome.
Yeah, the makeup works. Yeah, unreal.
Great.
Unreal.
It's so good.
Unreal work. It's seriously like just the yeah.
You can
I
really
feel
see
like yeah.
the small detail in everything, like every stitch, every mark on the creature. You can see the detail into it. It's so
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. I really appreciated that and the just yeah, right. The practical effects and even the scene where he's like showing, the higher, I don't know, higher ups, not the right word, but whatever, showing them this creation that he was trying to resurrect,
Yep.
this person that was already that whole scene, the way it was shot, the production design, the makeup and all the like shit they put on the body and the way the body pops up and it's like, oh, and he starts like,
Oh,
oh,
dude,
he's
that
like,
part's awesome.
dude,
So cool.
sick.
Yeah.
So sick. I mean, that really, again, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in that. I'm really
Mhm.
in this. Like, I'm like, okay, I like what it's going for. And I gotta say, Oscar Isaac, I really fucking love this performance here, way more than I expected
Mm.
because
Hmm.
no one, and still, like to this day, I feel like no one really talks about it. I thought he was so good. I was so just like I bought him, and I know a lot of people in their reviews said that that's actually criticism. Like I don't know, he felt maybe a little too over the top. Right? I disagree. I actually think he really, especially in the moments where he doesn't talk, and he's like, when he's in the ship and he's like got the blankets on and Frankenstein's there, he's talking. The look in his eyes and the fear and also the regret and like
Yeah.
it's just all there. Like that's a great performance. Like I would. I mean, I know it's a really tough year, but like I would at least consider it for a nomination just purely. I would straight up consider it. And same with Elordi. I mean, Jacob
I mean,
Elordi as the creature.
he was just unbelievable, Jacob Elordi. And real
So
quick, I want to
good.
touch on Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
He's also a mad scientist too. Like he's got to have a couple scenes where he's over the top, otherwise you wouldn't think he's a
Yeah.
mad scientist. Like he's
Right.
kind of an asshole. He's arrogant. He's a jerk, and he's literally like bringing a dead person to life because he thinks he's God. Like that's
Right. He's
if
playing
over the
God.
top is not a part of his role, then like what is the point of the role itself?
Yeah. Right. Right. You got to know that's baked in. I feel like, and I love that conversation that he has with Mia Goth, where she's challenging him on
Yeah,
his entire body of
yeah.
work. She's like, you're fucking playing God, you little fucking, you're playing God like a motherfucker.
You're a
Like, this is
nerd,
not
dude.
cool.
Yeah.
It's so, dude, that is crazy that you just said that because you connected. Because I was
Were you
thinking
about to say
after a
that?
movie, well, I was thinking after a movie about like, I was getting really existential. I was thinking about AI and I was thinking about all these things and like how these tech giants are making all these products that we don't really like, we don't know what it's going to do
Mm.
to us.
I
Like, we
like
don't know
where
how it's going to, you know what I mean? And I got that similar thing of like, I, putting the dots together, putting the
you're
dots together, doing it. No,
kind
but no, really, like that. Like you're so in your own way and your own like passion and your own like. I need to do this. Like I need to be seen. I need to just be. And it's like you don't like you can't play God, man. You're not the main character of this world. We coexist. You have to have empathy and give a shit about people. And I do feel like that, like the Frankenstein story needs to be told, like, and especially in the age of, AI, where we're kind of making this thing that we're not really sure of, and we don't know how to necessarily contain it. And there's a lot of parallels, and just the idea that it takes a village, right? Like it takes a village to like it. There's so much different like efforts that come into raising a human being, and obviously Frankenstein has a lot of parenting parallel. I mean, it's essentially a allegory for the parenting experience,
father-son relationship. One of which,
right? And
by
what
the
we
way,
pass down to our children, yeah,
yeah, and maybe my favorite, like unexpected plot device in the movie is that father-son relationship. Was not expecting that at all,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I loved every minute of it. The
yeah,
how Victor like passing down that toxic parenthood that he gets from his father, like
yeah,
BoJack Horseman. When does the drip stop? You know what I mean? Or,
right, right.
I'm sure I said it wrong, but
No, I think
correct
you
me,
said it.
BoJack
You said
Superfan.
it
Did I say it
perfectly. When the
correctly?
drip finally stops, I think you
Yeah.
did. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Drip finally
Yeah, that's what
stops.
I
Yeah,
think. I think like that's what I kind of felt in that scene. And like Succession too, kind of the same thing. Like the poison drips through. I think that's also.
yeah. It's
I think that's
poison, right,
also the quote. Um,
right,
but yeah,
right.
so I love that aspect of it. I just wanted to mention that real quick because you mentioned the parenthood.
No, 100%. And I think, and I have you brought it up because it kind of sparked a thought of like, I think like that was Guillermo's intention with this adaptation was to push the parenting aspects and like what we pass down, the consequences of fathers and sons. I think that
He
was an
also,
angle
yeah,
where it's like, no, I want to push that. Like that is like because other Frankenstein stories, like obviously they might touch on it a little, but it's more of like a background thing. It's more of a subtextual thing than like actually like, no, this is what the story is about. And I really did think Frankenstein did a great job with that. And even like his relationship with the older guy and like him, like even just the creature learning about humanity. There's something about that that's just really touching for me. Like the last movie I could think of that did that was actually The Wild Robot of like
mm,
this
mm,
creature in a place it doesn't know and trying to learn how it's like imitating the crab climbing the rock.
yeah,
And I remember getting emotional during that movie because there's just something, I don't know, there's something so pure about it and
yeah,
innocent. And I think that's Frankenstein. That's the creature. It is this like it's this pure kind of creature, and yet it has this vicious, violent look to him. But he is this pure heart that just wants to actually, I mean, wants to be mortal. I mean, that's kind of what the story is geared towards. I don't want to be immortal. I
yeah.
want to die. It's a creature that was just
And
born into this
if he
world and
can't
wants to die.
die, he wants to share that life with someone else, which is, I mean, inherently that's human. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I think that's why,
exactly.
like, you were talking about Wild Robot and this, it's like just that need of like, I think everything in like its initial form that can like think and be like a thinking, living thing that's like free of thought wants to be good. You know what I mean? Inherently good.
Yeah.
Or like I think that's what nature kind of draws it to, but it's like
Yes.
those
Yeah.
exigent factors that are pulling at it, like
Yeah.
what Victor does to him. But then you see it like he is like a gentle creature, even though he can rip a wolf in half, which we see him do. He
Right.
also gets scared when he drops a bottle of brandy because he's scared that an old man is going to hit him for it and
Right.
get mad at him. But he's like this big monster with so much power. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah.
fascinating. I think again, like you mentioned, Wild Robot, like kind of like an all powerful, not all powerful, but super powerful robot machine that can do all these things is scared to carry like a tiny little egg. You know what I mean?
It's
And
yeah.
it's just something because I think we connect to it because we all have it in our own nature where it's like you want to inherently be good or inherently like mimic
Right, dude.
those around you. You know what I mean? The nature of things around you.
Yes, yeah, 100, dude, literally,
Find your
like that
place. Yeah.
that's what the creature in Wild Robot, like they're creatures that could destroy nature itself. Like the Wild Robot is capable of simply wiping out. Frankenstein could probably just fucking take trees down.
Literally whatever he
Oh,
wants. He's immortal. He like eats a stick of dynamite. Like the guy can.
right. Right. He could destroy everything, but he chooses kindness. He chooses empathy and nature. Because I think there is something innate in us
Right.
that pursues that. And dude, this movie was really good. I will say though, one little negative popped up in my head just a little bit of I think with the old guy in the cottage and that whole sequence of him like learning and
Yeah.
reading and stuff like that. I think I just wanted a little bit more from like
Mhm.
that because like it almost felt like he started reading and then like 3 seconds later he's like reading full brilliant like he's saying the most insane
He has the
vocabulary. I'm
speech
like,
of
all
like
right.
an 18th century English professor. I was like, dude,
He literally like
that
I'm
was
like, dude, you're
fast.
yeah, you have better vocab than I do. And like and again though, I think that would have been fine if like maybe they just had a little moment where he's like with the old guy, the old guy's like teaching him how to say a
Yeah.
word. It would have been like
Little
something like that.
montage action, little
Yeah,
montage action where we got the
honestly,
job
even
done.
like just like yeah, honestly, yeah. Fuck it. Do a montage at that point with like,
Yeah.
funny, quirky music. And
Yeah.
like running around and teaching him
Yeah.
how to, no, fuck that. Like, honestly, just fucking give me a moment where they're having a nice, like, actual, like, kind of intimate moment. And that I think would have even expressed the whole father-son thing even more. Like having this moment for your, like, he's with the creature and he's
Yep.
teaching him this stuff. And just like, it would have been like, oh, that's what a good father is like. And then you see Victor just fucking being a dick to the creature the whole time, and it's like it would like, and maybe that's a little too on those, but you know what I mean? Like I think there should have
Yeah.
been more in those moments to give a bit more like weight to it. Because I did love the old man character and those scenes of him hiding out, and the family, they have to go and kill the
Yeah.
wolf pack or whatever because they're going to attack the old guy. He's like, all right, I'll just chill here, and like I did. I love that. I loved that direction that Guillermo took it on, and then obviously the
Yeah.
old man dying. The creature experiencing death.
Yeah.
Um, but like the sadness and the love he felt for the old man. I don't know if the old man says anything to him. I think he might just be. I don't know if they have like a
He
last
does have a
words.
little
Do
moment.
they?
Yeah, he
I
does.
feel
He
like they
does.
did.
Because
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
still alive after the wolves
He
attacked
was
him. So he
bleeding
like
out.
talks to
Yeah,
yeah.
right, right.
Um
And he said something that did stick with me. I'll probably have to look it up after this, but I was like. man, like that was really like there was. I feel like there definitely could have been more to that scene, but I did appreciate it at the end of the day. And I think it did add a lot to the creature story, especially that third act. Just it needed. I feel like it did need that. It needed the whole cottage sequence to really, I think, hammer home that those last kind of moments when he's on the boat. And I don't want to say he doesn't forgive Victor necessarily, but they kind of just let bygones be. They just like, no,
Mhm.
hey, we're here. It is what it is. It sucks that it happens. It sucks that you made me and I exist,
Yeah.
but fuck it. I gotta live now.
Well, yeah, that's my
You
favorite
know?
thing. Like the creature, like does kind of forgive him, slash, like you said, bygones be bygones. But it's not so much for the sake of Victor, which, like, I mean, in Victor's part, when Victor's like, "Please forgive me," it's two-sided. Like Victor's obviously dying; he wants to be forgiven for what happened, but at the same time, it's for the monster's own sake to be like,
Mm,
"Dude, you don't want to be alive, and I screwed up. I made you, but like, you can't let that define you. You got to
yeah.
live and just be a man."
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
really cool because like I think a lot of people can relate to that. That like the
Yeah.
concept of like you don't it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter like who raised
Mm,
you, it doesn't matter what your background is. Like at the end of the day, you kind of have to, as hard as it is and as much as it sucks to just say like move on and live, like
right. We gotta adapt.
that's kind
It's
of what you got to
adapt.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Whether
it feels
you're
like
a
that.
normal
Yeah.
guy or I mean it's the same thing with Victor. Like Victor never moved on and just lived. Like he had to prove his father wrong and say that he could defy death and create something out of that, you know?
Right. Right. And I
And
think,
it's
yeah.
like the monster just had to learn kind of like the same lesson. It's like what he says to this the boat captain. Like, I hope you learn the same lesson from me, like not to try to defy nature in a sense. But yeah, it's like regardless of what your background is, whether you're a rich aristocrat raised by a doctor to become a world-renowned doctor or you're a creature made in a lab, like it doesn't matter.
Right.
You still have
Right.
the ability to make your own road. And like, dude, the more we talk about, it, the more like the deep
Yeah.
meaning of the film kind of like comes out, which yeah, I think it was special. And I think a lot of people are gonna look past because some of their critiques I heard was like, well, I'm just not that interested in Frankenstein. Like we've seen Frankenstein a lot, and it's like, did that not this Frankenstein, dude? Like that's what's cool
Yeah.
about it. It feels like such its own thing. Like, yeah, it has the monster created from death
Yeah.
that comes back with a mad scientist, but I mean, it's such a good story on its own.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really good story. And it also feels like it's, like his career has been leading up to this movie in a way, not leading up in terms of like, oh, this is like his big one, but in terms of just like all of his stories are really about the men being worse than the monsters, like the
Mhm.
men actually being the monsters and the monsters actually being human. Like that's his whole thing, and that is Frankenstein. Like that is what the story is trying to say. And I felt like this just right, like I said before, like it. I really loved its sort of more not gentle, but like more empathetic approach to this story, and to say no, like I want to really focus in on the father son aspects of it, and that there's also a lot of like symbolism with the mother. Like there's some
The
stuff.
Ospreys both cool little piece of
Yeah,
filmmaking
there's
there.
some Oedipus shit
Yeah, that
going
whole
on.
Oedipus complex. Yeah.
But again, I there was also this thing where he's just like he saw somebody that just like didn't see him with anger and just saw him with kindness and saw
Mhm.
him as a human being or whatever, or as
The
somebody
creature you're
worthy of
saying,
love.
Saw, you're
Right.
saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Like seeing her and he's like, oh yeah, like this is what
He's
I
like, wait,
want.
this kind of rocks.
Right. Yeah. He's like, oh wait, being loved is like awesome. What?
Yeah.
Like it's
And he wants
being
to emulate it. He
appreciated.
wants to emulate it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Well, right. Dude, those little moments where he's like, I don't even know. He was splashing water at one point. He's like he's discovering something new or whatever. You know,
Mhm.
he's like fighting. I think there's even a scene with maybe I don't know if it was a butterfly or like I think
Yeah.
there
I
was a
think it
scene
was a
with a
butterfly.
bug. It
It was
was
a
something. It
butterfly.
might have been. And I remember just I'm like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's what that gave me the wild robot, right? Like kind of vibes of like, man, nature's so cool and like just the world itself is such a beautiful place. And these kind of movies can kind of remind you of that and give you a new perspective. Like Victor is this jaded kind of just corrupted dude who just like to be honest, I kind of want to watch the movie again to get more of his like personality and his
Mm.
like background a bit more. That was the only thing with Victor because like they obviously they touch on it, and I think in character moments like dialogue scenes, like especially with me and Goth, like you start to learn a bit more about him. But I kind of there was a part of me it's like man, I kind of maybe wanted like a little more motivation to like I don't know,
It's
not
kind of just like
care
he wants
about
to
him,
defy
but
his father and be a good doctor and
right. And I didn't know
scientist.
if that angle was But then again, no, no, there are men that will just do things for the pursuit of greatness, but
Yeah.
they don't even actually think about what that greatness is. Like, what are you actually doing? What are you putting out into the world?
Right. And
And,
not think of the consequence. Like that's the big thing.
right,
Like he creates the monster, then
exactly.
he's like, okay, bro, what now? He's like, oh wait,
That's my
I have to
favorite
teach
part.
him how
Yeah.
to speak. And he's like, nah, I can't, I'm out. He's like, I'm just
That's
gonna
the
blow it
best
up.
part. That's the best part is Victor being like, "You fucking idiot! Like,
Yeah.
say something real." And it's like, dude, he just a guy here.
Also, my
So
favorite thing too,
relax.
I was saying this when I watched the movie, I was saying this. Like, I love that the monster learns like a normal human child would. It learns its ABCs and it learns
Mm.
its letters and how to enunciate things through the old man, because that's the old man teaching the kid. Meanwhile, Victor's just like, hand, bro, hand. And it's like, that's
And
not how language works. You can't just say things and just hope that they repeat the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to learn to read
right,
and write and do these things. Like, if you approached the monster as like a child and like taught it like a child, it would have been normal the whole time.
that's I think the whole thing. I think it's like the story of Frankenstein is like just a guy who's blinded by ambition
Yeah.
and blinded by this pursuit, but not actually taking into account
Right.
what happens afterwards. It's like, okay, we get there. Even like we talked about Jesse Plemons in Begonia, how he
Mhm.
gets to finally that final scene,
It's like, okay,
and
now
he's like,
what?
"Oh, I don't know what to do. What now? What?" It almost is like
Yeah.
that effect of like, "Oh, well, like I just made this creature come to life, and it's oh my God, it's incredible that I was even able to do this."
Right.
But
Now
now
what?
what? Like he never even
It's like
thought about
Oppenheimer
that.
too. Like Oppenheimer too, to a darker extent.
No,
Like
no,
he's
no, no,
like
no. That literally is the exact same thing.
yeah, he's like so obsessed with making this bomb to like
Yeah.
prove his intelligence, prove how great he is. And then he makes the atom bomb and he's like, "Oh wait, I just doomed the planet potentially. Like
Right.
what do
Right.
we do now?" And like he
And
doesn't
yeah,
want to use
yeah.
it. He just wanted to prove that he could do it. You know what
Right,
I mean?
exactly.
The
And for
ambition.
because of the pursuit of science and knowledge, like that's what science, encourages. Like, no, we got to keep going and pursuing this. It's like, wait, we got to keep. But then they got too deep in it, and he's like, oh wait, shit, this could literally destroy the world. It's okay, and it's very much like this. Yeah, no, dude, that's actually a great, great equivalent because I
Yep.
do feel like it really that is the Frankenstein story. Is just right. It's Oh man, that was good. That was a really
Good
good
movie.
movie. Now, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm
Good
starting to kind of not even necessarily like it more. Like I would give it a different score, but like no, I am like the more I think about it, the more I definitely get out of it. And it was really well made, well crafted. I think the message was delivered in a way that I do think it was effective. Like I even think the last scene, you could kind of see the last shot of the movie coming, where it's just like
Yeah.
him and the ice and he's looking on, and like
Mhm.
like you could kind of think, oh yeah, that would be the last shot of the movie. But the framing of it, like it did hit me. I was like, oh no, that really that's the thing about the great filmmakers, dude. They make moments like that are really important, like that last shot, and they just know how to fucking nail it.
They
They're just like,
do.
no, that's exactly how it has to look, and that's gonna make the audience just feel that, and the music swelling up, and then it ends, and you're just like, that was cool. I experienced a real story. I really was. I
Absolute
engaged in this
cinema.
art form. Absolute
Bro,
cinema.
just absolute cinema. Bro, absolute
Honestly,
cinema.
like it, and honest, like, and you know, I got to see in a theater, which honestly, in hindsight, I'm genuinely grateful for because, like, and obviously discussion for another time with streaming and the theaters and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But there is a part of it. It's like, no, we are losing this. Like, we're missing this aspect of the theatrical release and just movies in general. Like, no, this is like having a theater rollout, seeing a movie like that is so gorgeous, the production design so everything is so detailed, and like the fact that it's on Netflix, like people could technically watch it on like a refrigerator that has a screen on
On
it
your Tesla, dude. Yeah.
or your Tesla. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, like and it's not like a pretentious, oh, it's the artistic, intention of to do. It's like no, but like that, it does matter when you're like making a movie like Frankenstein, where
Yeah.
it's like that should just be a theatrical release, period. And it's a shame that none, because I had to see it in a theater that wasn't a chain because Regal and AMC were not showing it anywhere. And that makes me question, is Netflix like not wanting to do partnerships with or maybe it's the opposite, like the
Yeah,
theaters
which
don't
is
want to
weird because they just did the K-pop Demon Hunters thing in AMC, which was like a big deal.
now, and like K-pop I know is like cultural phenomenon,
It's
but
its
you're
own,
right.
yeah.
You're
But
right
like, yeah,
though.
it's kind of weird that
It
they
is still Netflix, and
right.
yeah, it's a shame. We should they should have like dedicated theaters, like even if you
About a
want to do it
week,
that
dude. Give me like
way.
a week release. Yeah.
Yeah, just do something like because we're getting to the point now where it's like, man, we're missing out on an experience that's it's just very tangible, like that feeling you get. Like I feel like if I watched that at home, I still would have dug it. Of course, there's no doubt about it. I think the kind of feel the enormous feeling of it, like when he's
Yeah.
in the castle and the camera has that wide angle lens and it's like looking up and you're like
Hmm.
seeing the whole almost like the whole building in one shot. That's like I can't imagine being like this. Like I see on my
Yeah.
phone just like
It's
in
like,
bed.
yo, this is
Like
sick.
whoa, dude, that's fucking. I could see every. It's like no, like you, like there's a real tangible thing missing, and so I'm hoping the next year or two, Netflix and these streaming services can kind of cut the shit and be like, no, like there is actually profit to be made in theaters, and it actually tangibly changes the experience of watching this piece of art, you know.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm stoked. It was a really good movie. I'm,
Agreed.
because I was a little bit, even I said with Begonia too, with Frankenstein, I was a little bit like on the fence of like, man, like it's Guillermo del Toro, but it's not being like rave reviews. So
Yes.
it's like I'm curious what the split is. And no, I fall on the positive side of things. I got a lot out of it, and I really enjoyed it. And I'll probably watch it again on Netflix. I'll probably get another look.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a great year, dude. What a freaking year!
What's your
Awesome.
final score? Give me your final score.
Final score 4 out of 5. I think
Okay.
it's like, yeah, it's just very, very good. I think, you know, even though I give it a 4 out of 5, I don't think there's necessarily a ton I would necessarily change or like
Yeah.
I think
And
this
that's
is the
fair.
movie he
That's
wanted to
fair.
make. It's
Yeah.
not like he left anything on the kitchen table. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, he like this is
Heart
he
and soul.
went exactly.
Yep.
He stuck it all out there, and I love like the fact that we got to like see like one of the best filmmakers really ever. I mean, Guillermo del Toro is going to go down as a legend just to be able to see a new movie of his and for it
Especially
to
in his
be this
genre.
like,
Yeah.
right, exactly. And Frankenstein is almost
Is
like
literally his
an
that's the
homage.
creator
Exactly.
of the
Right.
genre.
It's right, exactly. That's what created Guillermo's style in a way. And it's so cool to see him kind of like pay it back. Like,
Yeah.
no, I want to tell my version of the story. And I think this could be the version of Frankenstein for a lot, especially younger people. Like this
Yeah.
could be it for them. Like, oh no, this is my first exposure to
Yeah.
this story. And this could be the like I saw that in a lot of reviews. People are like, this won't be the definitive version for anybody.
It should
I'm like,
be.
well, first of all, you can't say
All right.
for anybody. You can't speak to that. But secondly, like, no, dude, like I like for me it is. I don't obviously there's other Frankenstein stuff that we watched as kids and stuff, but like no, to me, when I think of the actual story, like the foundation of what Frankenstein is, I'm gonna think about this movie. I'm
Yep.
gonna think about this story.
100%. I give it
Yeah.
a 4.5. I think the only thing that really hurt it for me was the
Nice.
CGI and some of the visuals where I was like, all right, this looks like something pulled out of Wicked or Marvel when it's
Right, right, right.
but overall, like, but I'm also someone who really enjoys like horror and Guillermo's work. Like, I love Shape of Water, which people don't always like, and I actually like Nightmare Alley a lot, which I think gets forgotten a little bit.
Yeah, see it. I gotta see it.
Dude, I'm a big fan of classic horror. I took a class in college that was all on classic horror from like the 30s to like the late 40s. And it felt like such an homage to that. Like not from a monster movie sense, but like just the classic way that like the scores operated and the way that the
Yeah.
story is told and the way that like he does a lot of like the transitions with like the circle coming in and out. Like just classic
Yes.
shit that is not around anymore, honestly. And I think it's really underrated. It's like a really cool story. Bradley Cooper's really good in it. Um,
I gotta
and
see
it's
it.
one that I highly recommend. So if you haven't seen it, you said?
I gotta see it.
Yeah,
That
you
one in
gotta see it.
Pan's
It's really
Labyrinth. I
cool.
never watched Pan's
I
Labyrinth,
haven't
which
seen
I
Pan's
know is
Labyrinth.
like
I haven't seen Pan's
that's honestly that might be
Labyrinth. It's
one of the
awesome.
next movies I watch because I hear it's like
Yeah.
it's just it is as Guillermo as it gets. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's like his magnum opus. And
Yeah.
but no, it was very yeah. I'm stoked that Frankenstein did good. It
Me
did
too.
really well, and it seems it got positive reception. And I'm interested to see what it does at the Oscars. We'll see. It'll
I hope
probably get
I think
pictured and
costume production, it's probably
yeah. I think for winning. I won't say lock just yet because of Wicked
no.
2 is just such a
Wicked,
wild
yeah.
cat it is the front runner, absolutely
Yeah.
for those
It's at
categories,
least gonna
and
get nominated, which is great.
at least, and I think maybe score as well, and yeah, I think supporting actor for Jacob Elordi would be cool. I think, I think honestly that will probably happen as of right now, at least. Like I think he did give a good enough performance in that movie to warrant that. And I don't know about Mia Goth, but like I actually did really enjoy her. We didn't really even talk about her that much, but she really
She's good.
did like she was way more involved than I thought she'd be. Because I mean I didn't like it wasn't like I was reading every review word for word. Like even just glazing, I didn't really see her mention that much. And no, I was like, no, she had a lot to do in this movie, and I think she
Good.
delivered. And Oscar Isaac, like I said, loved Oscar Isaac in it. First off, Waltz.
Also
I
good.
gotta mention it, bro. I forgot about, dude. I first of all didn't know he was in the movie. Like, I don't know if it just like slipped by me
I
that
didn't know it
like
was in
I
the movie either until he popped on the screen. I was like, holy shit,
right,
Hans Landa.
dude. I was like, holy shit, that's it. Like, I'm like, dude, that is so, and he's awesome. And oh, he freaking delivers, man. Like I can't explain it with his character, and I'm curious how he'll land on a rewatch. But I do remember watching it and be like, man, this guy, like, there's this. He nailed this. Like,
Yeah,
there's
he
just,
did.
there's like this sort of like
You could
slight
tell he had fun. He had
sliminess to
fun with
him.
it. Yeah, he had fun with it.
That's exactly, and I love that, and it was such good casting. That was such good casting, and yeah, dude, I really happy this movie. It did well. It did well, and it worked for me, and it worked for you,
Yeah.
and it really is just another cherry on top of a crazy year for movies. They keep coming, and they're nailing it every single one.
What's crazy is potentially the best is literally yet to come.
That's what's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
That's crazy.
Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value. I
Hamnet
mean, Avatar
just coming
3,
out.
Hamnet. I forgot a Hamnet. I mean, it was just an accident. It's getting a ton of
Yeah.
buzz. Like we are stacked. I mean, Bradley Cooper's new movie is this
Yeah.
thing on that looks so up my alley that I'm like, man, this could be a personal fave of mine, and
Mhm.
that might even get some Oscar attention. I think if it does well. But
If it's a
yeah,
winner.
no, dude, I'm stoked. Awesome year.
We got a lot to look forward to, a lot to review, so stay tuned for more.